if you could introduce me, that'd be awesome.
Hey guys, Ashley Moore from McCreary County Extension Service. We're here today with Miss Olivia from the Park Service. She's going to be doing a snake demo with us. So let's do this thing.
Jump right in.
Yeah.
I am already holding our corn snake here, and Ashley is going to pick up our king snake. And we're going to talk a little bit about why they have these two separate names. We'll both come up to the camera so that you can see them a little bit more closely. But first, Ashley, will you be so kind as to take our king snake out?
You didn't tell me what it was before I was going to get a hold of it now. Okay, Ashley, it's a king snake. Okay, is there any specific way that I need to...
That is a good question. Yeah, so when you handle snakes, you always want to touch them if you ever are moving your hand across their skin from their head to their tail, because their scales go in that direction. If you happen to go the other way, you might flake off one of those scales and cause a little bit of damage. But these guys just recently molted, and we have one of the examples of their skin here. So their skin is actually super soft right now, so I don't think you're going to have a problem whatsoever.
So molting is shedding their skin?
Yep, molting means shedding your skin.
Okay. Just go slow?
Yep. Yep, grab it towards the middle of the body if you can. He's pretty calm right now since it's been a pretty cool morning. Snakes depend on their environment for their body temperature.
So is this okay?
Yep, you're doing awesome.
So I'll keep telling myself that, right? I'm doing awesome.
You are doing amazing. Look at that.
Look at that.
She got it out all by herself.
Look at that.
So a corn snake that I am holding gets its name for two reasons. One being this pattern that is on the bottom of its belly. I'll come up and show you guys a little bit closer. You can see that patterning resembles some types of corn. Also, corn snakes are oftentimes found in cornfields and is a really beneficial animal to have because it will eat pests that might eat your crops, and also it eats critters that might make us sick. Mice and rodents carry a lot of diseases. By having snakes around, they actually help keep us healthy because those animals are less prevalent when they are around. Let's have Ashley come up and show the snake that she's holding.
Yeah, y'all need to see me hold this bad boy.
Check this out. So Ashley is holding the king snake again, and it is named the king snake because it actually eats other snakes. So you probably noticed that Ashley and I haven't gotten too close. That's for two reasons. Obviously, the world that we are living in right now with the 6 feet distancing, but also these two snakes don't really get along all that well. The king snake eats other snakes, including this guy. Now, you probably noticed the one that I'm holding is a little bit bigger than the one that Ashley is holding. So it's not going to be able to eat adult snakes. The king snake will eat the baby snakes of other snakes, including venomous snakes. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the venomous snakes that we have here in this part of Kentucky. So both very beneficial snakes to have, both the king snake and the corn snake. So if you are maybe one of those people that don't really like snakes, maybe this will give you some insight to how snakes actually help us and help keep not just us healthy, but the ecosystem healthy. Now, the two venomous snakes that we have here are the timber rattler, which is this guy right here, and the copperhead. The copperhead is actually the most common snake that we have in Kentucky, and particularly in this part of Kentucky. And this guy, this corn snake, oftentimes gets confused for being a copperhead. However, I'll give you two factors right now, and I'll come up to the camera again so you can see that this is indeed not a copperhead. Well, as you can guess, from the name of the copperhead, its head will have a copper color, and you can see with this guy right here its head, that patterning on its body continues on to the head. So with a copperhead, the color is going to be all a solid color, much like the color of a penny. Now, another thing that you can look at is the shape of its head. With all of the venomous snakes here in Kentucky, they are pit vipers. So the shape of their head is going to be very different than all of the non-venomous. You can see that the jawline is very similar to the body width. Now, with a timber rattler and a copperhead being pit vipers, their head shape is going to be very different, with the jawline protruding out from the body. Also, you notice that its head is much more flat, whereas this guy's head is a little bit more round. Now, a little bit closer, you can see that the pupil of this guy is round, and the pupil of the timber rattler is kind of like a goat's eye, with the line going through it. Now, what is the problem with those two things that I just told you? You kind of have to get a little bit close, and I do not recommend getting that close to a snake that you do not know if it is venomous or non-venomous. So, what other factors can we use to determine if it is a venomous snake or not? Well, taking a look at these two right here, what's the first thing you notice? Color, yep. The shape of their head, yep. What about something to do with its size? Its body width. So as you can notice, that guy is a lot more thick than the corn snake that I am holding. On top of that, this guy's actually longer than the timber rattler. However, this guy is a lot more skinny than this guy. So the pit vipers in this area, they're going to have more of a girthy body and a shorter length of body. So it's like they've been to the gym and they've been working out.
Pumped up.
Yep, they're pumped up. So that's something that you can use to determine whether or not it is a venomous or non-venomous snake just looking at the body. Now, you said something about color. One of the people that I work with has a great analogy for timber rattler. It looks like a Charlie Brown shirt with the little, the little line, zigzag line going through it. So the shape and color of it can also be a determining factor of what type of snake it is. Now, with the other venomous snake that we have, the copperhead, and again, this is the most common venomous snake that we have. I'll come up and show you guys in a little bit closer this poster, but it talks about all the different venomous snakes that we have in Kentucky. Timber rattler and copperhead are in this area. Pygmy rattlesnake and the cottonmouth are going to be more in western Kentucky. So if you take a look at this poster, you will see the patterning on the copperhead is kind of like an hourglass shape. Some people like to use the analogy that it is kind of like Hershey's Kisses with the wrapper taken off.
I can't compare a snake to a Hershey's Kiss. Yeah, a lot of people would not want to do that comparison, and I completely understand that.
So let's talk a little bit about the difference between these guys and venomous snakes. So have you ever heard somebody say, are there poisonous snakes around here?
Yes.
Well, the next time somebody asks you that, you can say, there are no poisonous snakes, however, there are venomous snakes. So what is the difference between poison and venomous? Do you know?
No.
So I always say, think of it in terms of bites.
Okay.
If you bite something and you eat it, it's poison.
Poison. You ingest it.
Yeah, if you ingest it. If something bites you and you get sick, it's venom.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's not just biting, so I guess it's not the perfect analogy. It's also bee stings or wasp stings are also venom. So that's something, a little trick question you can ask people.
Poison and venom.
poison and venom. Another common half-truth, half-not-truth myth, kind of confusing. I'll explain. Has anybody ever heard the term that a baby venomous snake is more dangerous than an adult? So it's part true, part not true. Another trick question you can ask people. The part that is true is that when a baby snake bites you, it releases all of its venom. Whereas when an adult snake bites you, it knows it can't eat you. And so it reserves its venom for when it can actually attack the prey that it is going to eat. So when you get bitten by a baby venomous snake, you're going to get more venom. However, the adult venom is more potent. So it's part true, part not true. With an adult snake, you're going to get more potent venom, but you're not going to get as much. So that's kind of a trick question as well. A couple other things that we often hear about snakes is that they are slimy. Ashley.
No, he's not slimy.
Yep, not slimy at all. They're actually quite soft and smooth. And like I just said, they recently molted. I'll come up and show this skin. So after they molt, their skin is actually super soft because, as you can imagine, getting all that dead skin off makes your skin super soft as well whenever you maybe exfoliate in the shower.
Yeah, it's like lotion skin.
Yep. And so molting for a snake, all of the skin comes off all at once. The process actually takes quite a while to prepare for it to come off, but once it starts to come off, it comes off in just a couple minutes. What happens is that a week before the skin comes off, the color of the snake will actually change. This guy will become a lot more white, and that's because there's an oil that develops in between the old skin and the new skin. And in fact, that oil goes into their eyeballs as well, because snakes do not have eyelids, so they don't blink. So that skin will come off of its eyeball as well.
This is super cool.
I know, isn't it? Yeah, snakes really help keep our environment healthy. Another thing that I always like to consider is that there's so many things in our ecosystem that we don't really yet fully understand. And any place that there are venomous snakes, for example, there are less rates of Lyme's disease. And there's so, like I said, there's just so many intricacies that it's important to question whether or not to, some people would advocate to kill all venomous snakes, because yes, they are dangerous. In particular, this guy right here. Copperheads are hemotoxins, so that means the venom is going to attack your blood system. However, timber rattler, that's neurotoxin, your nervous system. So that's super, super serious, and you will want to go to the hospital for either one of them. Neurotoxin, yeah. This guy, you will need the anti-venom. Anti-venom is basically created from the venom of that particular snake, which you will need with a timber rattler. However, with a copperhead, they usually just give you some strong antihistamines. Still, go to the hospital, no matter what, no matter if it was a copperhead or a timber rattler. Now, these guys still have fangs, so they're not going to bite us.
Thanks.
I know, I told you after you picked it up, sorry. So if these guys bit us, we'd actually still want to pay some close attention to it. Now, this guy's been in captivity with us for over 10 years. That guy's been with us a little bit over a year. Neither one has bitten us, and we do handle them quite frequently, so they are used to being handled. However, if you are in the forest around here going on a hike and you accidentally get bit and you know it's not a venomous snake, you still should pay some close attention to that bite, because snakes don't have saliva and they eat things like mice, rats, and other rodents. Those things aren't very clean, are they? So it's still important to pay some attention and care to a snake bite, even if it is non-venomous, and really make sure that you clean it out so that it doesn't get infected.
I'm doing really good, right?
You're doing awesome.
All right, I just want to take a moment there and
Yes, give you some props.
yep, give me some props.
Yeah, you can see that it is coiling around Ashley's wrist right there. These are both constrictors. That basically means once they get prey, they will wrap around it and tighten that prey until basically the prey suffocates and they can eat it safely. However, they know that they can't eat us. So I think mostly when they constrict around us, it is to make themselves feel safer and more secure. This guy is super active today. You've got one that's chilling right now.
That's perfectly fine with me. You're doing good too. I'm just going to have that part.
So the last thing I want to talk about are the different kinds of snakes that we have here in Kentucky. We have 30 different types of snakes, and we have 20 of them in this area in Kentucky. We are in one of the most biodiverse regions, not just in the state of Kentucky, but in the entire United States. And some people will say that there is a snake missing on here if they've seen it. However, it is not a snake, it is a lizard. It is a legless lizard. A legless lizard. Isn't that weird? So the reason why you will be able to tell if it's a snake or not is if it blinks. So that is the only indicator that we know that it's not a snake. So remember what I just said? They don't have eyelids. Yep. So this legless lizard, if you ever see a snake or something that looks like it but it blinks, you will know that you have seen a legless lizard. Well, we hope you have enjoyed this program. I am from the particular part of Cumberland Falls, so pretty close by, just on the other side of the river, of the Cumberland River. We do these programs in person for any school or library that would like this, and so please reach out to us if you are interested for me to come and do a program for you.
Awesome. Thank you, Olivia, so much.
Oh, you are so welcome, Ashley. It's my pleasure.
Hope you guys have enjoyed this little program, and Olivia, like I said, we appreciate it so much, and I'm glad we got to meet these little guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned. Hopefully we'll have more programs like this. Thanks, guys.